In front of this impregnable, mud castle, home to more than 2 million termites, termite soldier ant head big round belly, with a pair of huge jaws, once the intruder is found, shakes his head violently as a warning. Millions of years ago, termites and army ants were rivals. The fighting power of army ants is also not to be underestimated. Their bodies are built for fighting. Even more terrifying, a colony of army ants often have tens of millions of troops. Whenever they come out in full force, marching fast, like an efficient killing machine, wherever it goes, leave no living things. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. Our army of army ants raids a termite nest. Who lives and who dies, who wins and who loses? Let's wait and see. In a forest in East Africa, balance between predator and prey. This phenomenon has always been. But the army ants living here are exceptions. They tend to kill their prey. Small but brutal. Powerful combat effectiveness does not depend on a single individual, but a huge army of ants. This super ant colony with tens of millions of members consists of most females and a few males. As the name suggests, army ants spend their entire lives on the march. They have no fixed nest. Like steppe nomads, wherever there is food, they will go there. Wherever there is food, they will go there. Every 3 weeks or so, eat up the surrounding food. Army ants will leave the old nest and move to a new one. Shuttling through the glades, sheltered from the midday sun. Along the way they keep opening up new hunting grounds. These voracious predators can eat all creatures encountered, rely on the huge quantity advantage, can launch a hyena-like group attack mode. Even prey much larger than ants do not escape death. When an army ant spots its prey, immediately releases the semiochemical, attract hundreds of accomplices to join the attack. According to the types of work, there are 3 types of army ants. They vary greatly in size. The soldier ants are huge and can grow up to 1.5 centimeters. No eyes, only rely on 2 antennae to distinguish direction. The antennae are covered with sensory hairs, able to sense smell and vibration. The head of the soldier ant is huge and hard, equipped with a pair of sickle-sharp jaws. Their main duties are offense and defense. Struggle against prey. Let the soldier ants kill the prey first. Sharp jaws like daggers can easily pierce the flesh of prey. Most butchering and cutting jobs handed over to medium-sized worker ants. They are half the size of soldier ants. Jaws have cogs, perfect for cutting. Except for these 2 types of army ants, there is also a very small worker ant. They only grow to around 3 millimeters. Small size, strong flexibility. Their main duty is to assist hunting in times of war, usually responsible for nest building and cleaning. These 3 types of army ants work together and cooperate with each other. Prey have little chance of escaping. As the saying goes, before soldiers and horses move, food and grass go first. Ant army also needs a lot of food reserves. After the advance team kills the prey, buried in soil, provide food reserves for the large troops behind. The advance team left a scent trail during the exploration process. Large troops follow the scent, so they won't lose their way. A large tree fell and left a hollow. It has become an excellent temporary residence for ant colonies. The workers then started nesting work. They move rocks and dirt out of tree holes. Hard work, tireless. More than 100 catties of sundries can be removed within 2 days. Their work efficiency is not even comparable to that of humans. The old nest and the new nest are connected by an ant road. Workers are responsible for digging roads and digging tunnels. Keep the entire cargo, ant road, unimpeded. Soldier ants are responsible for guarding the roadside, always ready to attack the incoming enemy. The jaws of soldier ants are only used as fighting weapons, cannot be used to eat, and thus can only be fed by smaller worker ants. The advance team was busy all day and all night. It's all for the smooth migration of the large troops behind. All work is ready. The main force set off on time in the early morning of the 3rd day. They go all the way along the ant road. The length of the team can even reach 200 meters. Each worker ant has a white larva hanging from its body. This is the most precious wealth of the ant colony. It carries the equivalent of a human running a marathon with a sack of potatoes. And can't rest in the middle. The entire Great Migration will take 3 days. Process seems chaotic, but in fact, they have a clear division of labor and perform the duties. Worker ants are responsible for transportation, shuttle back and forth from the ant road. Soldier ants are in charge of guarding and lined up on both sides of the ant road. Ant torrent flow up to 250,000 pieces per hour. After transferring the larvae, it's the final show. The core of the entire ant army, the queen. Surrounded by bodyguards. It is longer than 5 centimeters. It is the existence of the giant in the ant colony. All the army ants here are its descendants. Its huge body drives slowly, escorted all the way to the new lair by guards. Ant Queen's palace perimeter. Layers of soldier ants stack guards. Keep out all danger. The queen arrives at the center of Kuando's palace. Recover after a short rest. Then emit a strong, sex hormone. Attract males from other nests to mate. Male ants are also huge. They have elongated tentacles and newly fledged wings. Looks like a fat bumblebee. This male ant is attracted to the queen's scent. It wants to go into the den to mate. But it was intercepted by the soldier ants guarding the door. Soldier ants don't have eyes, so they can't tell who's coming. Coupled with being aggressive, the male ants were soon besieged. Drones in crisis of death release pheromones to prove that he is a qualified mating object. If recognized, it will nest smoothly. If rejected, it will die on the spot. Because the ant nest hole is very small. Only by cutting off the wings can we pass smoothly. Male ants are very cooperative. It uses the pincers on its tail. Ripped off a wing. The remaining wings were bitten off by soldier ants. Immediately afterwards, a large group of ants rushed into the hole. It's quick to see the queen with dignity. After 5 days of recuperation in the lair, the male ants were finally brought to the core area of the underground palace. Met the long-awaited spouse. It's not the queen's first husband. Won't be the last. It is just one of the many male favorites of the queen ant, Lingxing. The male ants leave the palace after mating and die soon. The queen will produce millions of offspring for it. Large numbers of larvae need a lot of food to grow and develop. Soldiers and worker ants are hunting their prey non-stop. This just looks good. Not to mention the slow crawling, the fleshy ones have no shells. After the first ant touches it, attack pheromone spreads rapidly. Hundreds of ants swarmed up and wrapped it up. They desperately bite the flesh with their jaws. Victim of unbearable pain. Attempt to escape the attack by airborne. Excited by the killing, the ants jump down. Delicious. It's like falling from a frying pan into a stove. There are more little devils on the ground than in the trees. Soon it will be securely wrapped again. At the critical moment of life and death, there is only one last resort left. Its body surface secretes a highly viscous toxic substance. Like white cement. Once the ant's jaw is pierced, it cannot be pulled out. Other ants tried to lend a helping hand, but they all fell. Like a mouse on a sticky mouseboard. The more you struggle, the tighter you stick. Just when the cockroach was about to escape, an amazing scene happened. A large number of worker ants brought mud to fill their bodies. After the soil dissolves, the viscosity is neutralized. Little ants also understand physics. It's amazing. Lost the protective. Completely became a fat sheep waiting to be slaughtered. Its flesh was cut off piece by soldier ants. Then transported back to the base camp by worker ants. 10 days after mating, Ant Queen transformed back into a super production machine. One feeds, the other produces. 2 million ant eggs can be produced in a month. This is how giant ants are created. Worker ants busy around it, carrying ant eggs like pearl rice grains. The rapid expansion of the number of ant colonies. The demand for food has also increased geometrically. The north and west of the new nest have been cleared. All living creatures are destroyed. Today, the army of ants is heading south, across rugged woodlands, to a wide pond. Forge ahead, unite as one. Build a strong ant bridge to the other side. Pity here, pray fog. The army of ants is defeated. I never expected to hit the jackpot on the way. A strong freshwater crab was found by army ants. Surrounded in just a few seconds. Ants tried to break open crab's hard shell. The result ended in failure. They then switched tactics. Start looking for weak spots in crabs. The gap at the joint is the breakthrough. Sharp jaws reach into joints. Cut the crystal clear crab meat. As the wound grows bigger, the smallest worker ants can drill right in and bite. The crab tightened its eyeballs, it was so painful that it couldn't move. Soon its mouth was also captured. Small worker ants get in and eat from the inside out. This big guy in armor was eventually gutted into an empty shell. Day 22 after migration. The territory around the ant nest has been swept away. Millions of larvae waiting to be fed. Ant army faces severe food crisis. Now there is only one farther area to the southeast that has not been explored. Coincidentally, there are 2 tall termite mounds here. Army ants may be able to learn something new here. Unlike army ants, termites have fixed nests. These mounds are more like mud fortresses. These fledged termites are preparing to fly off King's Hill. They are the future king and queen. After the wedding flight, they will establish their own dynasty. But some have no chance. Their dynasty has not yet begun. Don't hate the Northwest. Army ants trying to dismember termites. Some bite the wings, some bite the legs. Constantly pulling and cutting. The termites were finally transported back by households. Not even the wings are wasted. As night falls, the temperature drops. The army of ants return to the nest after a busy day. But they missed out on the annual super feast. That night, all the termite breeding ants in the forest. Group wedding flight. Densely covered the night sky. But the army ants are no longer blessed. At dawn the next day, the 23rd day after moving, the army of ants ushered in a new migration day. The advance team set off again to explore the way. Expansion to new places. They are mighty and mighty, come out in full force. Targeting termite castles. Perhaps they have proven rich food reserves. Now we are going to collectively harvest protein and take termite nests for their own use. The mud castle stands safely under the shadow of mottled trees. Termites are unaware of the approaching danger. When soldiers approach the city, a fierce battle is inevitable. Army ants crawled all over the perimeter of the castle. Bloodthirsty soldier ants are ready. They search for food along the crevices. Worker ants, I'll be careful when I get to the entrance. Leaves scent trails for companions when entering a cave. The raid has started silently. But the tunnel into the nest is very narrow. Army ants love wide open spaces. Otherwise their large forces cannot be deployed. Quantity advantage disappears. Termite soldier ants spot the intruder. They have big heads and round bellies, and they also have sharp jaws. The head of the soldier ant vibrated violently. Scare the intruder. Army ants are apparently not intimidated, because they are natural aggressors. Once the 2 sides come into contact, the fight begins immediately. In terms of individual strength, termites are actually better. But the army ants break through the first line of defense by virtue of their numbers. Termite guards desperately resist. In fact, their nests are specifically designed for army ants. Tunnel to the central area. Full of narrow. Only one ant can get in and out. Every pass is guarded by termites. It can be said that one husband is in charge of the gate, and 10,000 husbands cannot open it. Army ants are forced into one-on-one duels. Quantity advantage cannot be brought into play. The prerequisite for victory. This is a fist-to-flesh physical attack. Whoever is bigger is better be, whoever is stronger is justified. The 2 sides bit and fought each other, causing mutual casualties. After fighting for several hours, the army ants did not take any advantage. Withdrawal is imperative. However, many remnants of defeated soldiers could never go back. Termites defend their homes, and the army ants will transfer immediately. Thousands of troops are rampant. Siege is invincible. Although I lost my spirit in the termite nest, but they're still crazy killing machines. Army ants are about to attack. Small animals in the jungle. Have you already felt the murderous aura soaring to the sky?